I like Crawford. I like Crawford then, I like him now. I liked him before Canelo looked not so good in his last fight, obviously. I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. I see it.
You must the
job ain't done yet.
Yeah.
The job ain't done yet.
Yeah. It's Saturday, deliver the job.
But listen, I appreciate the opportunity.
No retirement.
Let's get it. Yeah.
Just shocking! Teddy Atlas has sent a serious warning to Canelo Alvarez, and fans are buzzing about what it could mean for the biggest fight of the year.
I was not letting my gym become an arena. I always had a private gym, and we were getting ready for one specific reason, one specific match.
Recently, images of Canelo surfaced online, showing him with a black eye after a sparring session with Jaron "Boots" Ennis. The internet quickly exploded with rumors that the younger, fresher Ennis might have gotten the better of boxing's biggest superstar. For most fighters, a bruised face after sparring wouldn't mean much. But when it's Canelo Alvarez, a man with more than 60 professional fights at age 35, preparing for the challenge of Terence "Bud" Crawford, every mark becomes a symbol of doubt.
I wouldn't look to get a Boots Ennis. I mean, nothing wrong with that's what they want. That's fine. But, and I get it, the style, the size, the length. I understand. It's not a bad pick.
Teddy Atlas, never shy to voice his opinion, was stunned. He argued that a fighter with as many miles on the odometer as Canelo shouldn't be going to war in the gym. Atlas's warning was simple but powerful. If you leave it all in sparring, there won't be anything left for fight night. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because this is going to be a good one. And I once again have to ask seriously, can Canelo Alvarez handle a lean, muscular Terence Crawford at 168 pounds? Atlas used one of his most famous analogies, comparing Canelo to an old car. The logic was blunt. When a car has thousands of miles, you don't take it on reckless drives. And the same goes for a fighter who's been through wars in the ring. At 35 years old, after 65 fights against some of the best in the world, Atlas believes Canelo's body can no longer afford brutal sparring sessions. Atlas stressed that the upcoming fight with Crawford is not just another payday. It's potentially the defining moment of Canelo's career.
When I had a guy in camp to fight for the world title, I'm not bringing another world champion in. I am not bringing another top fighter. I'm not getting into that ego stuff because it gets there. It gets there. I don't care what you say.
Losing to Crawford, a man coming up in weight, could permanently shift the narrative about Canelo's legacy. And in Atlas's eyes, wasting strength in the gym before such a historic fight is a mistake that could cost everything. The viral black eye photo added gasoline to the fire. Fans instantly split into two camps. Some claimed the image proved Canelo is slowing down, while others defended him, saying that iron sharpens iron, and testing himself against the dangerous Boots Ennis only shows his commitment to preparation.
What is there to talk about? You fighting the best fighter in the world. You better be taking it serious. You know, that goes to show, you know, how serious he's taking me and how much he respects me.
Crawford himself chimed in, and his take was fascinating. He said the sparring session shows how much Canelo respects him. In Crawford's words, "If I was too small, if I was all hype like the media says, Canelo wouldn't be bringing in guys like Boots to help him prepare."
Because, you know, if I haven't fought anyone, if I was too small, if I was, you know, all these things that all the media say I was, then he wouldn't need these guys to help prepare him to fight me.
To Crawford, the black eye isn't a weakness. It's proof that Canelo sees him as a real threat. But the debate continues. Did the photo expose vulnerability, or did it simply reveal the lengths Canelo is willing to go in order to stay at the top? Meanwhile, all eyes are on Crawford and his daring move up to super middleweight.
All those doubters, at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I get that. I get that.
What time is it? What time is it? Terence,
For years, Bud ruled the welterweight division at 147. In August 2024, he tested the waters at 154, winning a decision. But now, at almost 38 years old, he's leaping straight into Canelo's kingdom at 168 pounds. Critics question whether his body can handle the jump, especially given his age and limited activity in recent years. But new leaked photos tell a different story. Crawford hasn't packed on sloppy mass. Instead, he's slim bulked, adding strength in his legs and shoulders while keeping his frame lean. It's a strategic transformation designed to maintain his trademark speed and mobility while giving him the durability to absorb Canelo's power. Interestingly, this mirrors Canelo's own weight transitions earlier in his career, where he carefully built his body to move from middleweight to light heavyweight and back down to super middleweight. For Crawford, this isn't about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about engineering his frame to compete against one of boxing's strongest champions. The boxing world is buzzing with predictions, and the divide is clear.
He's really smart. He's gonna give Canelo a little bit of trouble in the first round, but then once Canelo feels that he can't get hurt, come on, Canelo's been hit by the heaviest hitter in boxing, Triple G, and never got hurt. He got hit by Bivol, never got hurt. A 175 pounder.
Joel Diaz insists that once Canelo feels Crawford's punches, he'll realize they can't hurt him. And at that point, the Mexican star will simply walk him down. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. is even more direct. In his view, Canelo knocks him out in 6 or 7 rounds. Weight classes exist for a reason.
Muy dispareja, la verdad. Crawford es un gran peleador, pero no tiene nada que hacer en ese peso. Con todo respeto, él va por el dinero y Canelo lo va a noquear.
William Skull, who has shared the ring with Canelo, gives Crawford little chance, estimating the fight at 75-25 in Canelo's favor, purely because of the size advantage.
And I really see, I see that Bud's gonna do good. He's gonna do good, but I don't think he's gonna win. But I do see Bud like getting a lot of punches off, being able to tag Canelo with some good shots, but they have no effect. That's the thing.
And Garcia, another voice from the gym, sees a scenario where Crawford lands plenty of shots, but says they won't faze Canelo, who will impose himself with power and experience. Still, not everyone is ready to count Crawford out. He has a history of proving doubters wrong, and many fans believe his skill and timing could neutralize size. That question, skill versus power, finesse versus force, is exactly why this fight has captured the world's attention.
He's not me.
Yeah.
You know, as much as a lot of people, you know, say we have similarities and, you know, we switch a lot and we fight a lot, he's not me.
Crawford himself has been quick to shut down any comparisons between him and Jaron "Boots" Ennis. While he respects Ennis's talent, Crawford insists that sparring with Boots is not the same as preparing for him. He reminded the media that Ennis has yet to achieve what he's accomplished: multiple undisputed championships across weight classes and a spotless record. To Crawford, Canelo's choice of sparring partners only proves how seriously the Mexican star is taking him. But he's confident that Boots is just a shadow of what he brings to the ring. Then came the words of boxing legend Mike Tyson. Tyson has always had a sharp eye for greatness, and while he openly admitted he wants Crawford to pull off the upset, his tone carried doubt. On the big podcast with Shaq,
You can do it anymore, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, I don't think What would he have? I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea. People have done things crazy like that before. He just say he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
Tyson said bluntly, "I want Bud to win, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Canelo is just too smart, too strong." Hearing a man like Tyson hedge his bets reveals how monumental this challenge really is. And then there are the fans. Split right down the middle. Some argue Crawford is simply too small, pointing to Canelo's ability to absorb punishment from genuine light heavyweights like Sergey Kovalev. They claim Crawford's punches won't make a dent. Others, however, believe Canelo's kryptonite has always been slick, elusive boxers, and that Crawford's timing and adaptability could be the perfect recipe for a historic upset. Twitter threads, Reddit debates, and comment sections are filled with heated arguments, with each side convinced they see the truth. As if the fight itself wasn't dramatic enough, controversy spilled out into boxing media. Ring magazine posted an illustration of Terence Crawford meant to promote the fight, but the artwork backfired instantly. Instead of celebrating his achievements, the caricature exaggerated his features, leaving him looking swollen and beaten. Many fans, and even neutral observers, called it a racist throwback to harmful stereotypes, with oversized lips and a distorted face that bore little resemblance to Crawford. The backlash was swift. People asked why there wasn't a similar caricature of Canelo Alvarez, and why Crawford was singled out. Social media lit up with accusations that the sport continues to exploit racial narratives to sell fights. Under the pressure, Ring magazine quietly took the post down, but the damage was already done. The incident sparked fresh debates about how black fighters are portrayed compared to their Latino or European counterparts.
When I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch.
For Crawford, this was a reminder of the disrespect he's faced even at the peak of his career. For Canelo, the silence surrounding him in this situation showed just how differently fighters are treated depending on who they are. And for fans, it added another layer of tension to an already polarizing matchup. Beyond the Crawford clash, Canelo's name remains tied to potential mega fights with David Benavidez, the so-called Mexican monster who many believe is the one man at 168 that Canelo has avoided. Saudi promoter Turki Al-Sheikh has openly said he wants to stage a Canelo-Benavidez showdown next year.
Canelo in Riyadh and May, the big fight in the history of boxing. Don't miss the line.
But everything depends on how Canelo handles Crawford. If Alvarez loses, the landscape changes instantly. That's why Teddy Atlas insists the Crawford fight is more than just another payday. For Canelo, it's about his legacy. Beat Crawford convincingly, and he silences every critic who said he was ducking challenges. Lose, and history may judge him as the man who couldn't handle a smaller but smarter rival. For Crawford, the stakes are just as high. If he pulls this off, he doesn't just win belts, he rewrites boxing history as a 4-division champion who dared to conquer the biggest star of the modern era. This isn't just a fight, it's a clash of eras. Canelo represents the established giant, a Mexican superstar, already a legend. Crawford is the technician, the strategist, the underdog, moving up to defy the natural order of weight classes. Together, they've created a fight that fans will debate for decades. And so we circle back to Teddy Atlas's warning. A fighter like Canelo, with so many years and wars behind him, can't afford to leave anything in the gym. He has to protect what's left, or risk losing it all under the bright lights. But But the million-dollar question remains. Will Canelo's power and size once again prove too much? Overwhelming even the most skilled opponent he's ever faced? Or will Terence Crawford, leaner, stronger, and more determined than ever, shock the world by exposing boxing's biggest superstar? The stage is set, the rumors are swirling, and the only way to get answers is to wait for fight night. Let us know your thoughts in comments below.
Performance bonus that night is going to be over 6 figures. We're still talking about it. So, yeah, it's going to be a big number. Whoever wins the performance bonus of the night that night.
All right, guys, for the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and actions, subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on notifications to never miss out on quality content. And check out our other videos. Until next time, peace out.